What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. How everyone is feeling today? How was this lovely Monday for you all? Not Monday. Today's not Monday. Monday was yesterday. And we had, Caleb Porzio in Livewire Flux, which was literally an awesome stream. I had a lot of fun. And because I have this, this Twitch stats aside me, I actually noticed that we went to the top one of programming, what it's called, software and game development on Twitch. So that was an awesome day yesterday. I feel like, a lot of fun, also fun for myself because I was literally discovering, Livewire Flux. Today we are doing something a little bit different. We are actually reacting to videos, okay? So I don't know how much time it will take because today I want to stream for only an hour. But our first reaction will be to Primeagen saying that PHP 8.4 is good. I mean, basically, I feel like Primeagen doesn't need any presentation, okay? The guy is just a beast on Twitch, and on YouTube as well. I'm a big fan of him, to be honest. I don't know how can he actually stream for 8 hours still keeping that energy. So I hope someday I can be 10% as big as Primeagen is. But meanwhile, we get to keep grinding. We need to grind hard, and let's see how it goes. So before we get started into this, reacting, I want to read the chat and see how was your day for you all. I see again some familiar faces. Okay, I see new ones as well. But yeah, Mayomnel, nice to see you, dude. Steno, nice to see you as well. Big Ton, yo, how you doing, dude? Mareko Code is saying, hello, Nuno, enjoy the stream. I will. Welcome to the stream as well. Hi, Drills is saying, hola. Hi, dude, nice to see you. Big Ton is saying, yesterday's stream was very fun indeed. I had a blast with Caleb Porzio. And today is going to be a blast as well. We are going to see some cool videos. I have, 2 videos on the pipe, but let's see how much time it takes the first one, though, okay? And then we, potentially delay the second one for another stream. So the first one I have is actually about Primeagen saying cool things about PHP. The second one I have is about Povilas saying or talking about the biggest Laravel news in 2024. But our first video we are going to react to is actually this one. Hi, Dan. Nice to see you again. So cool to see you for the 3rd time in a row. I miss you, dude. Jonas, hi again, dude. Nice to see you again, man. How you doing? Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for the congratulations. I'm doing fantastic, Ali Kak. Nice to see you, dude. And yeah, if any of you missed yesterday's stream, it was pretty awesome, by the way. So go to my YouTube channel. By the way, I want to talk about my YouTube channel. Let's talk about that first. So in case you haven't noticed, I am publishing videos to my YouTube channel every single day. So please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel because you have literally videos every single day. These videos are literally curated versions of my live streams. So, every time I stream about something, typically compile 1, 2, or 3 highlights of that stream. You can see already multiple highlights here appearing on the screen. You can join me also as a member of the YouTube channel, and on that case you get the video 1 day before, So, oh, thank you, Philippak, for the 3 months subscription. Thank you so much, dude. And yeah, by the way, if you want to support me on Twitch, you can also subscribe me. That will be really appreciated. But meanwhile, yeah, you can join me as a member on the YouTube channel. Dave Atreides, thank you so much for the subscription, dude. I really appreciate your support. And yeah, on my YouTube channel, you can find all the highlights, as you can see on the first row. But then just below, you can see the past live streams. Literally all of them. And, you can catch up with any content. Most of these live streams are like 2 hours. So with Caleb was 2 hours. With this one was alone, so almost 3 hours. Philippa Crow, thank you so much for the 5 subs. For the 5 subs gifted, man. Thank you, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then you have other live streams like about AI, about CLI development. So a lot of stuff on my YouTube channel. That being said, let's get started, man. The first reaction of the day will be to Primeagen saying cool stuff about PHP. And I haven't seen this video yet, you know? So I have liked the video because, you know, I like to see people saying cool stuff about PHP, but I haven't actually seen this video. So I'm literally excited to see what, you know, Primeagen said about PHP. So by the way, once I actually had a meal with Primeagen. So on Laracon US last year, actually we had like the speakers dinner and Primeagen was there and I got the chance of speaking like 3 minutes with him. And he told me that he was aware that PHP is a great language, you know, and I actually asked him if he had the chance of working with PHP recently. He told me that his line of work, he actually, you know, he doesn't have to do PHP because he basically does videos. So, you know, and he doesn't have to deal with PHP at all. So let's get started with the video, man. I'm excited to see this, and I hope you guys are excited as well. By the way, before we start, let me know how the sound is, okay? If you can hear me good, if you can hear the video good as well. I'm going to start with the video.
Yes, PHP 8.4. They've been making a great comeback, and they might be a cool language. They might actually even fall under the cool. I think they're asleep.
All right, dudes, how is the video sound? Is it like too noisy, or you feel like, oh, you hear echo? Okay, relax. Okay, I'm going to remove the echo. There we go. There we go. Let me know now if you get back into the echo thing.
Yes, PHP 8.4. They've been making a great comeback.
Okay, now, now it should be a little bit good. Okay, now it's perfect. Okay, nice. Good now. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, AGZack, nice to see you again, dude. You are always coming to every single string. Thank you so much. Doosan, nice to see you again. Oh, it's still echoing out? Okay, that's not expected, though. It's loud or making echo? Probably just, yeah, exactly. Just loud, basically. All right. But I'm going to make this like half of the sound. Let me know how it is now.
Yes. PHP 8.4. They've been making a great comeback.
Now it should be a little bit better,
and they
right?
might be a cool language. They might actually even fall under the cool. I think they're a sleeper.
All right, now it's perfect. We are ready to start seeing this video, right? So I want the chat to be super interactive with me. So, you know, during this reaction, I'm going to give my honest opinions about his opinions, but you also can give yours. So let's get started, man. Let's just start this.
Yes. PHP 8.4. They've been making a great comeback. And they might be a cool language. They might actually even fall under the cool. I think they're a sleeper. I think in 2026, you're going to hear a lot about it. I'm feeling it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Just listening to this, like seeing this big dude saying that PHP is a sleeper and literally, you know, actually becoming cool. It's just awesome, man, you know, because you see this type of dudes are always saying cool stuff about Rust or about Go, and, you know, seeing someone like him saying cool stuff about PHP just makes me feel happy, man. Just, you know, and I probably the same with you all, I feel like, because most of you work with PHP, and seeing this movement of, you know, influencers, not only Primeagen, but also Theo says good stuff about Laravel, and feels good to see this, you know, feels really cool.
I'm calling it now. I'm saying that PHP, sleeper, okay? PHP 8.4 is a major update of the PHP language. It contains many new features such as property hooks, asymmetric visibility, and updated DOM API, performance improvements, bug fixes, and general cleanup. Okay, I didn't even realize there was a DOM API in PHP, okay? I didn't know this. This is new. This is actually...
Yeah, the DOM API is the... It's like the DOM document class that I show you. I think it was on the stream number 2 when I walked through the features of PHP 8.4. By the way, if you haven't seen that, go to my YouTube channel. There is a live stream just about PHP 8.4, and you can see that I have actually walked through that, you know, DOM API. I don't think it's like the most common thing you would use personally, but you know, it's just nice to see as well. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP and Laravel developer and working with everything in between. Actually, the Prime's face is actually hilarious, dude. Ajizak is saying, I have never seen Nuno happier. That's right, dude. That's right. I was saying that if you're watching me on YouTube, yeah, give me a follow there. But also, on Twitch, you can subscribe my channel to give me financial support for these streams. That being said, let's keep going.
New to me. All right, property hooks. Okay, so let's check out each one of these property hooks. Class local, string language code. Let's see, string country code. Public function, do a little construct, language code, this. Okay, set language code. Well, crazy code. This is crazy. You're doing getters and setters. What is this? This is crazy. What is this? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Set combined code. Let's see, get combined code.
Yeah, this is, well, at least the example on the left is for sure exaggerated, the example on the left. But I don't remember quite well, but I think this article actually showcased PHP 8.3, and now we are going to see the same example on the right. That's why
what are you doing here?
I really hope he will show the content on the right.
Okay, anyways, here we go. Okay, so let's look at this new.
There we go. So this is like prior to PHP 8.4, and this is like now in PHP 8.4.
PHP 8.4. Here we go. We have these two. Wait, hold on. Public string language code, public string country code, brackets, set. So they have setters and getters now. Generally speaking, I'm going to throw this out there. I don't like setters and getters. Okay? Let me defend why. The simple reason why is look at this statement right here. The statement right here is very obvious what has happened. We are going to set this country code equal to this, right? So you can look at this and you can see it and you go, okay, I understand it. What you don't understand is actually this is happening. It kind of hides the information away behind the date. You know what I mean? It hides it away. There's.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think property hooks as a feature itself, or the way that the property hooks were actually showcased on the article, on the release article, wasn't actually the best way of showcasing that feature. Do you know what I mean? Because, property hooks, first of all, the first big thing property hooks are bringing to PHP is literally properties on interfaces. Like, that should be the point number one. Probably the name of the feature should be called that, like literally properties on interfaces. That should be like the main. But also, at the same time, I feel like the second thing where property hooks really shine is when you have this public property, existing public property in your class, and that's an existing API that you as a package developer have and other people are relying on. So sometimes you don't want to introduce a breaking change, so you can have this new getter way that hooks into that given getter. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like it's probably the best way of highlighting this feature is properties on interfaces and literally allowing to hook into properties and modify the behavior for the existing APIs. Not something you would do already, you know what I mean? You would do like in fresh new code, I feel like. AGZack is saying, valid point, but PHP has already plenty of magic already. That's right. There is a lot of PHP code. And, the fact that there's a lot of PHP code means that PHP is successful. The only reason why we see a lot of PHP code is because PHP has been here for a while. That's a good thing. When software becomes legacy, means that the software was successful over the years. This is something that people really need to learn. Like the fact that something is already like a little bit legacy sometimes means that the thing was successful, basically. You know what I mean? Hi, Claudio. Nice to see you, dude. And hi, Diego Igore as well, Stino, and everyone here. Welcome to the chat. Pick and Flow. Nice to see you again, man. Yesterday, you were really helpful. Thank you so much for coming again. Internal Constellation. Nice to see you again, dude. Yeah, if you just, are you watching this stream for the first time? Give me a follow on Twitch and YouTube. You can also support me financially on Twitch by subscribing my channel with a tier 1 if you want to. All right, let's keep going.
A little bit of indirection. And so when you read this line of code, you don't realize that there could be more executing. And so generally speaking, I've always disliked setters and getters. I feel like they're too much magic is happening. Hidden functions call into transformations. Exactly. You hate the $sign? Dude, people are quit Quit being so hurt about the $sign. It's not that big deal. Property hooks provide support for computed properties that can natively be understood by IDEs in static.
Yeah, I feel like there is no mentions, for example, for properties on interfaces. And that was like actually a big thing, you know? We could probably have that on the website.
Analysis tools without needing to write doc block comments that might get out of sync. Okay, I mean, that's cool. I just don't think I like it. All right, asymmetric visibility. Private string version 8.3. Public get version, this version. Increment. Okay. Class. Public, private. This looks stupid, but honestly, this is actually pretty cool. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, that is actually.
It was kind of hilarious because he actually understands that this kind of stuff is just necessary in your codes, you know? So it was hilarious.
Super cool. The ability to have properties, but then be able to hide its setting behind a private is pretty great.
You know, and also something that is not often mentioned is that technically you can have a public property, for example, where the set is protected and allow it to be overridden by children classes, you know? So it's not something that you typically would write, you know, but it may happen actually. It may happen, you know what I mean?
I actually like this. Superposition variable. That's cursed. Why is it cursed? What makes this cursed? Come on. Land of Leet. You're up on the big board. What's cursed about it? I expect an amazing breakdown of why this is cursed. Come on. The keyword naming is what makes it cursed.
Dude, I don't know if it's the case, but often, like, sometimes when you have like a public hot take on Twitter, there is these folks coming with something like, I would never use this. And then I ask why, and they don't ever answer back because they don't have an answer for it, you know? That happens literally all the time. I don't know if was the case here, though, you know?
Really? That's it? It doesn't bother me. I don't think it's saying, hey, it's public with a private set. You can read it from left to right. Public, left to right, bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy, pumpkin seedsy, no problem with it.
I agree.
All right, let's see the next thing. Deprecated attribute. Okay, nice. I like it. Deprecated 8.3, use PHP version instead.
Yeah, this was a must, man. Like in our public APIs and packages, we were desperately needing for something like this, at least something native, because in the past you had to actually you would have to call like the trigger deprecation within the function. So PHP, I don't know if if people knows this, but there is this function called the trigger deprecation, which effectively allows you to do the same thing as this thing, but I feel like through an attribute is just way more cleaner. Agizek is saying this is Nuno when he makes 500k followers. I don't think I will ever do 10% of that, but let's see. Eternal Constellation is saying language flame wars are still going nuts stuff. Yeah, although I don't think he's like saying bad things about PHP. Every time I've seen Primeagen talking about PHP, he's talking cool stuff about PHP, which is, I mean, for me, it's fantastic. And Milson, nice to see you, dude, on the chat as well. And Miguel, nice to see you. Thank you, everyone, for this warm welcome, man. You know, thanks, and welcome to the stream. And yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, deprecated. Oh, nice. Okay, I don't know what these things are called, but this is like a special PHP thing that's something.
Yeah, this is attributes. Okay, this is attributes. We have them on Laravel and more.
Happens. Right, and I don't really know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I know that it exists. It's an attribute. I know, but I don't know what it does. I don't know how they work. Message, use this instead since 8.4. I mean, this looks really nice. It's better than a doc comment.
Right? And I just noticed that actually you can provide the version, not the PHP version, but the version that this given feature was deprecated.
We can all agree that a doc comment's not great. Instead of having something that probably gives you more explicit
Yeah, something really cool about PHP. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the years, we can kind of understand that people actually want something because they write it on the PHP comments. Don't you think? Like the first time we saw type-ins, for example, we saw a bunch of annotated code through PHP annotations, like literally comments. And now we have type-ins. Then we start seeing people writing this kind of arroba deprecated stuff. And now we have through an attribute. So I feel like that PHP annotations or comments are almost the pre-existing API for doing stuff, where we see if people liking it for real, and then we actually start implementing things.
exact versions and all that. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Next, let's see. New extend DOM features in HTML5 support. All right. New document, load. Oh, baby. Look at all of those things. Not even sure what to do with all of that. HTML. Main. Is this like some sort of macro? What is this?
It's kind of funny. On my PHP 8.4 stream, I actually haven't talked about this feature. So I've walked through, but kind of fast. But, I was just surprised that, first of all, that we had this, and second, that we didn't have HTML5 support, which is kind of crazy. John is saying, I love attributes in Laravel. Me too, dude. Attributes are pretty cool. We don't have them on Past because on Past, you just have a nicer API, I feel like. But yeah. Trevor is saying, I love attributes in Livewire. Yep, same. Yep. That's right.
Yes. Main article.
Yo, by the way, if you don't know this syntax right here, there's little, less or bigger than this operator thing and then this HTML. It's basically a way of having a multi-line string in PHP. It's basically that, okay? AGZack is asking me if I use DOM stuff in PHP. I don't. Rarely or never used. I think, I use it. I'm lying. Like, I literally use this on Tailwind. Tailwind, the project where you write Tailwind CSS and then you see like the console very pretty. Yeah, that uses pretty much
article
this thing as well. Yeah.
HTML, lib XML, no error. Okay, so this is the old version, right? All right, New version. Doc, let's see, a DOM HTML doc create from string, this, okay? Query selector main, last article. See, I don't really get this. What am I looking at? What am I even looking at here? See, the problem is I don't even know what they're doing right now. Right? What is happening here? Okay, so you're loading HTML versus creating it from a string. Okay. You do some sort of XPath, node path query with crazy amounts of CSS, right? Not following sibling versus just this main article last child. So it looks like you can use just query selectors. So it's like you get the whole.
Yeah, basically just an API for querying things within the given HTML. So if you give like, a full response in HTML, you can literally just do a little bit of jQuery in PHP and fetch some of the stuff inside. I feel it's also behind an extension, the XDOM apparently. So I think it's fine. Adrian is saying it would be just better to use XML document. I don't know, man. Just the word XML, it's not my thing, Just the word XML, just by hearing that, I wouldn't use it immediately, David Tried is saying, to be honest, I'm feeling like him right now. Never use this feature. Yeah, it's something that typically people wouldn't use. Like, why would you have to parse HTML? You would have to be a crazy like me to do Tailwind. So Adrian is saying the examples are bad. Yeah, I feel like overall, this stuff is open source, so we could probably contribute to it, We don't have to only give opinions, but probably this page could have been a little bit better for sure. But this stuff is open source, so for sure, I can still do a contribution to this and improve, some of this stuff, Yeah, undeniably, like, let me go back here a little bit. Undeniably, calling this stuff, let me go here.
Okay.
Yeah, calling this stuff HTML document is a little bit better than what it had before. So undeniably, it's a little bit better, I feel like.
This in array featured classes, which is this. Okay. Oh, I think I see it. You're exploding class name. So this is like some sort of this versus you actually get the node class name contains, right? Is that a JavaScript feature? Is node class name contains a thing? Document here, body dot query selector.
So it's basically kind of doing what we have in PHP, but now on the JavaScript console, which this API is existing for a while now already. Okay.
Oh, document dot body, right?
Felipe is saying that I use Symfony DOM crawler when I need to. Yeah, I believe that. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Symfony DOM crawler would use this API behind the scenes. Okay. DOM crawler probably uses this API behind the scenes to kind of parse the HTML. Adalis, what's up? How you doing, dude? Nice to see you here, man.
Really? Is query selector not a thing? Yeah, query selector, right? All right, so yeah. So if you do that, let's see. Oh, not query selector. Class list contains. Okay, so it's just okay. So it's just remaking. You get you actually get class list contains. Okay, so it's just a reflection of the DOM API.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So you're doing.
Oh my God, I really hope he doesn't spend the next 10 minutes talking about this feature, because it's literally the feature that nobody will use. So I really hope he doesn't spend the next 10 minutes on this shit, dude. Oh my God, please.
Feels confusing to me. You're doing a bunch of HTML operations.
Do you know do you know when you are like presenting a demo of your thing, like the thing you just built, and you deliver the thing, and then people just spend the entire time debating something, like the only thing is bad on that thing, or the only thing is not that good. So that what's happening here? Because I feel like, I mean, this stuff is good, but there is other stuff too, you know. So, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of people follow me on Twitch. Thank you so much for that. You know, you can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. You can also support me financially using the Twitch subscriptions. Okay, thank you.
And I'm gonna have to think about that. I gotta be right back.
Wait, what?
Look who's causing trouble. Hey, you.
How you doing?
I swear,
How you doing, buddy?
I get a cat, and they constantly cause trouble. Thank you. Hey, Dylan, thank you very much for that. Okay, so this feature is just simply being able to have more accurate.
Hey, Pick and Flow, thank you so much, man, for giving us up. Thank you.
It's to have one-to-one API with the DOM, right? So that means I should be able to go like this. Document.create from. Is it like full? Because I don't know this one. Create from string, so that's not one. All right, I was actually wondering if it could be like create from string, if that was also one.
Oh, come on, move from feature.
But it's
please.
somewhat more. Well, it's somewhat like node class list. This one is definitely
we are
one
going
for
to
one.
Stay here 10 minutes
because this looks horrible. This looks much nicer.
It does.
Like you get query selector, you get this, so then you can go here and you can grab the articles last child. Be able to go at, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I mean, realistically, he probably does a lot of JavaScript, so this is probably the you know, one of the things that he resonates a lot with. You know what I mean? Orange Cat always causing trouble. That's for sure. Philippa Co is saying, I can move the button down. You can move the button to the right. Dude, I built a whole website. You debate 30 minutes about a button. Yeah, that's right, dude. That's what I was saying, that sometimes you do demos or anything, and when you build these demos, there is always like 90% of the discussion is about something that you don't even care about. Like, it's something so small, it's just crazy.
It's for Zoomers who are familiar with JS. I mean, generally speaking, I think that navigating an XML document via query selectors is pretty nice.
Yes.
Right? Like this is nice. This is a good feature. Yeah, XPath a query was really complicated. Yes, this is not fun. This
undeniably, the new API is a masterpiece when compared with the old one. You know what I mean? We have to give him that. Yeah, that's true.
Pretty easy to understand. All right. Object API for BCMath. I'm not sure what that means. Is before Christ math.
This was a must. Like, we were needing this so much. I don't know if you guys have used it, like basically BCMath, but it's kind of an API that you probably need to when you're working with numbers. And the fact that now we have just a regular object with methods and things like that, it's just so much better. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something up front. Okay, you need to memorize this. When you're working with PHP, something really complicated is working with decimal numbers, something like stuff like floats and shit like that. And, you know, and then having numbers as a string, you need to convert back to a real number, but then there is like points in the middle or commas. So, you know, BCMath is actually an API, a really good API. And now we have that through an object-oriented API. So this is actually a cool thing. Yeah, Adrian is saying, I only use BCMath for math operations, and I truly agree with you, man. I agree with you. Prime the HTML developer. Dude, this dude does everything, man. It's just crazy. Besides doing like all languages, because every time I went to his stream, he's like literally doing all languages. Besides that, he's also like always energized. I don't know how can he do it. Like if I spend 1 hour streaming like I am right now, literally speaking, through a laptop, seeing the chat and watching a video, I can only do this for an hour or two, max 2. But then I'm exhausted. And he does this sometimes like 8 hours straight, man. I don't know how, man, probably drinks 30 coffees a day.
Was math different in the old days versus today? I guess they use like Roman numerals or some shit. That's crazy back then. Okay, so let's see. We get a decimal. We get a number 2. We do a little BC add. Not really sure what we're doing here. I honestly don't know what that 5 is. I honestly have no idea what that 5 is. Now we knew a number. What is this, JavaScript? Okay, so this one I don't know what this means. Can I be real here for a second? Okay, so it's just a floating point of 5. Okay. By the way, if you're doing an example, PHP 4, if you're listening, PHP, if you're doing an example, especially for us laymen who are not as well understanding of all these things, definitely do something that's like maybe truncates it. If you would have put a 4 here and then truncated it, I would have been like, gotcha. Information's below. We don't read. Okay? What do you think? What do you think we're doing here? You think we're reading? You think this is a reading stream? I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah, undeniably, something I'm questioning is like, okay, so here I'm doing a BC add, giving a number, and giving a second number, and then explaining how many decimal points I want, right? But then on this side, I'm kind of also summing 2 numbers, But what is the decimal point stuff? It just, like, what's happening, Probably just takes the decimal point or the biggest decimal point we can have out of this sum, which is probably what's happening here. But one cool thing is that when you sum 2 numbers, you sum 2 numbers, and the result of those 2 objects summed is literally, wait a second. I'm summing 2 classes. Yeah, probably this is like calling the toString behind it and then some. I don't know what's happening here. Even myself, I don't know what's happening. So I don't know. What's up, chat? What do you guys know? Edgy Zach is saying, to be fair, PHP team didn't expect Prime to read this. PHP team is awesome, man. They do a great job, They cannot do everything perfect now. It's complicated, but they do a great job.
Read? I just vibe check. Yeah, this is a vibe check stream, okay? We're just vibe checking real hard right now. By the way, this is just straight. I mean, I guess I don't understand this feature. Is this like a normal feature people use? Honestly, I'm so used to this. I bet you, dude, I cannot tell you how many times I've done this like precision, right? Num and then p, right? And then just be like return math.floor and then just do number times precision divided by precision. You know how many times I've done like that guy? Like that thing has just 1,000 times in my brain I have programmed this.
Yeah, that's, sometimes when you are experiment different languages, something I noticed, for example, is that you get so used to do stuff in a way, like, for example, something really confusing for JavaScript developers when they jump into PHP is like having to, the $sign. The $sign is something so confusing for JS people because they never seen the $sign, and most of them are not used to finish like a line of code with point with comma point or whatever. So the $sign for me is like transparent almost. I don't see it. I don't see the $sign. But for people coming from JavaScript or Rust or C or whatever, every time they see the $sign, it's just damage their brain. You know what I mean? Like it's just so complicated for them. They don't get used to it. It's just difficult. Internal Constellation is saying, for me, it was hard to move on Python. Yeah, Python is also a little bit simplistic. And when you are doing Python and you jump to PHP, seeing, probably some boilerplate you are not used to, it can be hard, man.
This dumb thing over and over again. So I guess PHP, they just have it built in. Well, that's pretty cool. It's basic calculator interface. Oh, it doesn't stand for before Christ. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes way more sense, basic calculator, than the other one. Okay, I see it. I get it. These objects are immutable. Oh, let's see. Okay, new array functions. Oh, new array functions. Let's go. For each dogcat value as value, do this. Okay. Array find, static function, bool string starts with. Oh, beautiful. Let's go. What a great day. Nice little filter function. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that you can also do these little floating, the closures. It'd be nice to maybe have a touch more supported syntax for this so you don't have to write that much.
Yeah, undeniably, something I would do here is probably remove the static keyword, because why did he put the static keyword, man? It's just so something that people will find confusing when they're reading this thing, you know. But anyways, probably something I would do here to improve the snippet is removing the static keyword, because effectively does nothing here, you know what I mean? And also I would probably remove this type int boolean, because, you know, it's kind of inferred. The boolean return type should be inferred from the return type of the string starts with, you know what I mean? But internal constellation is saying static is faster. Yeah. Like how faster it is. Like if it's not that faster. We're talking about a microscope unity of microseconds. We're talking about, you know what I mean? Like it's not that faster. It's probably exactly the same thing, you know? I could have like a million for each running a million times this given code, and you wouldn't notice a difference. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that I usually, when teams are debating like this, you should have static or not, it's such a waste of time, because in real world, the database queries are going to take the most of your time. You know what I mean? That's the type of deal that I have to explain all the time. Michael Doreen is saying the static on short closure will be better for garbage collection, but it depends on what you're doing. So what Michael is saying is that, you know, if potentially you are writing a short closure, you know, and sending that short closure to a container, for example, the fact that you bind that thing with a static, this variable will not ever be bound to that closure. However, I'm not even sure if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised if PHP's static analyzer would be, or with compiler would be smart enough to detect that. You know what I mean? Anyways, I feel like overall it's just sometimes, I mean, not always, but sometimes it's just a waste of thinking, basically, you know? Yeah, the little faster, put a lot of littles over there, because we're talking about little to nothing almost.
Much code just to do the exact same thing. A nice arrow function here would be great. A nice little lambda function of some sort would be.
Yeah, undeniably, just using lambda functions for this kind of stuff is just better, because you don't have like variables hanging around basically after the for each loop. Because I mean, the enable variable, but also the value variable will be kind of hanging around after this for each, you know, statement. However, with short closures, everything like handle inside of short closure will be basically dying and disappear once the array finds what it's looking for. So, you know. Yeah, Michael, I do know exactly what static does behind the short closure. I'm not debating with you if we should add them or not, or the advantages. For me, it's more about teams that spend an entire afternoon discussing this little thing. It is just not worth it, you know, the timing and the mental effort to discuss this stuff. It's such a small thing that on real apps, it's just, you know, it's a no topic, in my opinion.
Fantastic. But why declare static? Because anytime you do these things, they're often declared static. Whenever you create a function, where do you think that...
Just by the way, I do think that a lot of people don't actually put their work out, because they spend 90% of their time configuring Reactor, configuring PHP Stan, configuring Pint, deciding if they want to use static or not, and then refactor everything to put static, and then refactor everything back to remove the static. And they basically spend 90% of their times dealing with this stuff without actually building anything. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, sometimes you need to be mindful about this stuff. Not saying it's your case or, you know, but, you know, it's the case definitely for some people.
Function goes, right? You can omit the static. I assume the static is a performance thing, right? Is that this function does not...
Oh my God, now we will spend the time. Do you see, dude? Now we will be talking about the static. Like, we have an amazing array function, and now we are going to pass 90% talking about why we have the static over there. It's just unbelievable. Oh my God. Let's see.
Any closure. It doesn't need anything. It is its own tippity top, right? That's just how I read this. Now I could be completely wrong on this. It doesn't bind the, yeah, okay. Static doesn't carry context. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Yeah, but it's really microseconds. Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right. It's definitely like, it's an, you're using PHP.
Are they having literally the same discussion as we were? Isn't this hilarious? Because they are literally discussing the same thing as we were discussing. Oh my God, hilarious, just hilarious.
Which probably, to be completely fair, means that your like performance of static versus like non-bound versus like lexically bound scoping functions is probably not where, like, you probably don't care that much. Can we be real here? Can we be real? Right? So you got array find.
Just found hilarious that he was literally kind of saying what I was. Anyways, just hilarious.
Array find key, array any, array all. Ooh, nice. Okay, nice. That's sum and every. Cool, cool. So I assume array.
Yeah, so besides the array find, we have also array find key, array any, you know, array all. We had a lot of this stuff already on Laravel collections, you know, true being said. But, you know, happy that we have them like natively in PHP, okay? Okay, so then, you know, the little times we are writing vanilla PHP, we can have, you know, these little functions. Judy is saying the lag on YouTube chat is bigger than the static FN can ever save you. For real. Jack is saying, I find myself doing this stuff in JavaScript, not in PHP, because of PSRs and Laravel conventions. Eternal Collections is saying Laravel is driving the PHP.
Or array any is just sum. It's the equivalent of sum. Yeah, checks out at least one array element. Nice, nice. Very cool. Good job, PHP.
Thank you.
PDO driver specific subclasses. Okay, so this is just fun times. Nice. Ooh, nice. We got Squeal Light. Let's go. Good example. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, let's try to see the difference between.
I didn't know he was a fan of SQLite as well. Oh my God. How do you say? It's like SQLite. That's the way I see it, right? SQLite. That's the way I say it, right? SQLite is. I'm a big fan of SQLite. You know, I have built literally Pinkery with SQLite, which is a full project running on the web, and it's faster. People sometimes forget that literally SQLite as a driver probably 10 years ago wasn't a good solution, but now is, because disks are super fast, like insanely fast. I've heard a story that someone migrated from Redis to SQLite. It was faster for them, for their use case, you know what I mean? So SQLite is definitely something that should even be more explored. You know, like SQLite today is being used already, you know, for for airplanes, but also for mobile devices. But I also think that we need to explore SQLite for other things, like, you know, serving sessions on the edge, for example, as a driver of sessions, caching on the edge as well, because you can literally have a file on each region that serves as a DB connection, a temporary DB connection for that. I've seen someone talking that he is using SQLite as a tenant. You basically just SQLite for each client on his own application, you know, so which is also super powerful, you know. A big fan of SQLite, by the way. Yes, yes, yes. Guzman is saying, speaking of collections, why requests all does not return a collection instead of array? I don't know, man, but you have collections you have collections, you know, values, you have collections to array. All of them return different stuff. You know, you probably want to see them. Squealite. Squealite. No, I definitely don't say Squealite. That's for sure. I say SQLite. That's the way I say it, okay? Big fan of SQLite. So what I think happened here is that basically, this connection thing now will be, so if I'm using something like SQLite, this will return a SQLite connection, which have a create function. So I know, I mean, you guys know, right? We typically don't use the PDO directly. I would be surprised if anyone on the chat have used, you know, the PDO object directly. However, you probably use something like Eloquent or Laravel that gives you an API around the PDO stuff. So the framework will benefit from this new API within, you know? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Megacorp is saying 70% of the applications could get away with just SQLite. 70%? Dude, I would say 95%. You know, like only applications with real traffic need actually, something like MySQL or Postgres. And even then, if you are doing too much queries to the database, you probably should, do some caching before that. You know what I mean? Just to avoid so much database queries. Lippers is saying, I use the PDO as well for small projects. Yeah, if you're using vanilla PHP, why not, I guess.
Connect, create function. I really can't tell the difference between these two. Oh, okay. Oh, I see this. Okay, so it's not a generalized interface anymore. It's actually... Oh, nice. Oh, okay, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Create squeal. You have to do squeal like create. Oh, okay. So that means the connection beforehand. You'd have to do like Postgres create stored procedure, right? You'd have to do some sort of like. You'd have to do like they were all there, and thus you had to go through everything. Now it's like a unified interface where it's just like create function, bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. Okay, that's sweet.
I mean, looks small, but I mean, it's definitely a better API, right? You can combine that with a match statement and even, so it's pretty cool.
That's sweet. Again, PHP is just doing all the right things. I swear they're doing all sorts of great things here. Okay, let's look at this. Class, function, return. Wait, what? New class method without parenthesis. Oh.
I don't think he knows actually that PHP required the parentheses. That's why he's like not getting it, to begin with. But probably we'll get it now. Let's see.
Oh, nice. Okay, better parser. Let's go. You have to do a new class right here, and you have to cover it so that way you get the return. Okay, yeah. Order precedencing. This had a higher precedence than new. Thus, new wouldn't be executed on PHP. I mean, love it. Great.
Hilarious.
Great.
It's just hilarious.
PHP is getting better all the time.
That's true.
PHP is getting better all the time.
That's
These
right.
array functions, way to catch up to.
It's just, I mean, oh my god, something like that I just wish would happen, and probably Laravel will do a better job now, on the new website we're working on, is, I don't even know if it's public yet. Anyways, we are working on this, this new website, and I just wish people would, their first impression of PHP would be not only this website, but probably like stuff like Laravel. Literally just see, a routing layer of PHP, like route get and then give a user back in those kind of things. Because, if you're coming from the GS world and your first impression is like vanilla PHP, that can be a little bit scary sometimes, But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Adrian is saying he haven't looked about, to the cool proxy stuff. Yeah, I hope he does, though. I hope he does, because that's cool stuff. Yeah, the lazy proxy stuff, for real. Dripping Castle is saying, every green code since 1994, PHP is getting better all the time. That's true. I mean, something undeniably that you cannot negate is that PHP is not only getting better, but it's here to stay. It's been like more than 20 years. More than 20 years we have seen PHP already, and it's still being used, it's still strong, everyone still uses it, Undeniably, I would say only that PHP was just doing too much in the past. Now we have, mobile phones, we have, SPAs, and probably, JavaScript is a little bit better suited for those things. But as a backend language, oh boy, web backend language, PHP is just bam, crazy fast. Megacorp is saying PHP is scary on the official website. They are doing improvements on that, They are doing improvements. It's getting better. Edilas is saying, yeah, a good framework is a start. Great. I started with CodeIgniter. Who remembers that? CodeIgniter? Dude, CodeIgniter? That was cool, dude. That was cool, CodeIgniter. I started with CodeIgniter as well. I started with CodeIgniter and the He framework too, I think. Yes, sir. Dave Atrez is saying, do you miss a PHP TS like? Well, PHP Stan is kind of doing that job for us, you know what I mean? Giving us the type safety that PHP needs. And I feel PHP Stan is doing a good job. I haven't checked yet PHP Stan 2, which probably I should, but PHP Stan is kind of our TypeScript at this point. To Kawa, dude, saying your names is such a difficult job. But anyways, you're saying that, yeah, I started as an intern with CI as well, but they might manage asking me to look into a new small framework called Laravel. Small framework, yeah. The Beastly is saying, I use Slim Micro Framework. It's been a while that I haven't checked the Slim Micro Framework. Okay, you know what's a cool live stream for us to do here is just test a bunch of PHP frameworks to see how they are in 2024. Dripping Castle is saying PHP is place in software. Full agree. I glad to follow and watch you and your contributions, especially to bringing up new developers. Thank you. Really appreciate those words. Thank you so much, dude. By the way, for those of you watching me, if you don't know me, we are with 120 concurrent viewers across Twitch and YouTube. Thank you so much for being on that side. If you're watching me on YouTube, please give me a follow, but also watch my YouTube videos coming out every single day at 1 p.m. If you're watching me on Twitch, you can have this really cool live stream on Twitch. Twitch, I just feel, is a better platform for streaming, YouTube for videos. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitch to get notifications when I go online, but also you can subscribe and literally financially support my work. Thank you so much for being on that side. The Beastly is saying testing those frameworks would be great. Yeah, that could be a fun live stream, you know? I think it would be fun. Internal Constellation is saying, but also Laravel is fat as cat. I mean, I get what you mean. However, Laravel have just a lot of batteries included that you just end up using them anyway. That's what when I was young, like literally 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and I would have this mindset of my mind of keeping things like as minimal as possible. But the reality is that if you're building an application, you will need sessions, you will need caching, you will need databases, you will need queues, you will need, you know what I mean? It's just, why are you putting yourself through the pain if you just can have everything with you? Just crazy. Neat Framework has some cool components that are missing on Laravel and Symfony. I have never seen Neat Framework, dude. Believe Laravel will go big just because of the community and the core mentality and effort they put, blah, blah, blah. Still, Taylor does Git merges. Yeah, Taylor is the only person. Taylor, besides being like, a very smart dude, he is the only person clicking on the merge button on open source, which is still surprised me, like how much care he puts into the framework and into the open source world, basically, of Laravel, because he is the only one clicking on the merge button. That's right. Oh, actually, I've checked, and PHP 3, well, actually, I know PHP 4 was released in 2000 or 2001, which is surprising. Cho is saying that is what. Oh my god! The chat is going too fast. You guys are doing awesome, by the way. I just love to see everyone just interacting with me on the chat. It's pretty cool. Gets the stream more enthusiastic, in my opinion. And Cho is saying that is what I don't understand, but some JS developers, they see as a disadvantage that everything is just included because they convince themselves they need to find. Yeah. The building blocks story, it's exactly what I was saying, that, you can bring features once you need them, but, you will end up need them anyways. Laravel just gives you all of that just for free and ready to go. All right, let's keep watching the video here.
They definitely have a lot of catch up to do. I like this. I think this is all great. This is all fantastic. I'm actually excited to do a PHP website coming up here soon. Hopefully,
So an interesting story. He was just saying that PHP is catching up. An interesting story is that I think it was like 8 years ago, I actually started my own superset of PHP, literally trying to make, what TypeScript is probably today to JavaScript, but trying to do a superset. In most of the features, PHP have actually got them already. It was literally the read-only thing, short closures. However, I did have like multi-line short closures on my superset. The problem about all these superset stories are that supersets, they're a good idea, but nobody actually ends up cracking the IDE support, you know, so that's like the real problem of all those new supersets coming to PHP.
Just nailing down the dates right now because I'm gonna tease you guys a little bit. Let's just say that we're having 2 people fly in, and we're gonna stay at the compound and help me.
Megacorn is saying you could react to Theo's video about why don't we have a Laravel for JavaScript. Let's do that just after this video. Just need to check the time though. What time is it? Yeah, it's 10:20. I don't know if we want to do that today. We can definitely do tomorrow, though.
Make this happen, okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for this. This is so good. Okay, awesome. I love seeing that.
Okay, I don't know if Primeagen reacts like always like this for other languages, but props to him to literally being such a cool dude, you know, just speaking cool things about PHP. You know, huge props.
I can't wait to use PHP 8.4. And by the way, the next time I use PHP, I'm actually going to stop writing it like 2010 PHP. And I'm going to learn. I don't really understand like this syntax. I clearly don't understand. I mean, I get it. Class, PDO, or name.
So he doesn't get the name spacing deal, I think, because you typically don't have that on JavaScript, right? You have like the use on the you know, like all the syntax they use to import modules, and I don't think they are used to see name spacing stuff basically, or they namespace it differently because they're importing files basically, right? That's why it probably is confusing to them, you know. Liski is saying, I'm not sure if I like read-only classes. Probably nicer would be to have some new building block like record, similar to Scala case class. Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. So, although undeniably, I feel like record, you know, on TypeScript is literally like a class that cannot be extended. So it's more like a final class. On Scala, they have the clth class. You know, the clth class, which is a little bit more like the read-only class you're talking about, I feel like. Yep. I was lucky enough to be professionally, you know, to work professionally with a bunch of languages. You know, that gave me a lot of, you know, knowledge that still today I apply in PHP, because I have worked professionally with Python, with JavaScript, with TypeScript. You know, I've done a little bit of Ruby as well. Just recently went to a meetup of Rails as well. What else? When I was in university, I worked with C# as well. Recently, I've done a little bit of C. I have literally give a talk on Rust. So, you know, all that knowledge always ends up, at least for me, bringing cool stuff for PHP. But I do agree, though, that read-only probably should have been a building block, like a different keyword to build a new class. But I mean, you know.
Space PDO subclass SquealLite. Like I get that. I just don't like. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Just by the way, when I say SQLite, I'm saying wrongly. Would you say like squeal? Like I'm wondering if you say squeal because it's something like a funny joke on his stream, or it's just basically, you know, because I say SQLite, you know. All right, Dripping Castle. I'm gonna say once more, and you let me know if I'm saying correct. You guys just say yes if the way I spell is good, or no if the way I spell is incorrect, okay? SQLite. So, yes, no. Come on. I want to see you in the chat. Let's go. Devin tried this, everyone. Adriel is saying yes. Wait, what? Adils is saying not sure. Okay, I don't even know anymore. Probably, I should just Google it. You know, go to Google Translate and ask it.
Like I couldn't really quite formulate how this all works. I don't understand how the module system works. Like the module system is a very...
That's what I was saying. Like he works with modules in JavaScript, so it gets confusing for them. You know what I mean?
Confusing system to me still. Like I don't see any includes in here, or requires, or import, or any of...
Lesky is saying he always talks about that way about SQLite. Yeah, I'm also passionate about SQLite. I have created a package that you can include in your Laravel application that just basically performs all sort of the optimizations on SQLite, and it's pretty cool in my opinion. Exactly, Drippin' Castle. He doesn't get like all the autoload, namespacing, composer, packages, and all that deal. Yep, that's right.
Those things, like I don't really understand. You know, there's a lot of PHP I don't understand. I know it works.
Wait a second. Wait right there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. There we go. There we go. Like this. And I'm gonna do like this as well. Actually, to be fair, he have the hair a little bit like this. There we go. There we go. There we go.
I just don't understand. Like I haven't done it yet. That's it. Require once. Yeah, I was a big
Just
require.
by the way, I don't know if there is any subscriber of Twitch on my chat at the moment, but if you are a subscriber of my channel, can you try to use my new emoji? Because I think I have an emoji now with like the black glasses thing, you know, that just deal with it thing. You probably can use it now, I think.
Once person. I was a big require once. Okay. The fact that, you know what, PHP iterated on the most important feature of all time from C, which is
There we go. There we go. The new emoji. Yeah, that's basically the emoji you get if you are support me financially on Twitch. And thank you, by the way. I'm already seeing a lot of names who support me. Thank you for that, dude. Really appreciate it.
once. Who here Primeagen once? Come on. One in the chat for Primeagen once. Dude, PHP with require once. Put that Primeagen in there for me. Okay, they put it in there for me. Dude. And yes, I call it Primeagen. Primeagen, not even once. All right, this is awesome. Great job, PHP. Let's go. Let's go. My wife is Primeagen. Shit. Oh no. Oh no, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. The name.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Man, come on, let's clap for the Primeagen. This guy is just awesome, you know. Very cool vibes today on the stream. Absolutely cool, okay? All right, chat. As a reminder, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno, PHP and Laravel developer. You can go to my YouTube channel to subscribe my channel if you want to. I'm also on Twitch, literally streaming as we speak, you know, as we speak. And you can subscribe me, to support me financially. So I do have another video to watch today. And tomorrow, this is like my first reaction on videos, but I'm having fun. So I may react to Theo's video on Laravel tomorrow, or probably, 2 videos on Theo. However, today, we are reacting to the Laravel Daily channel. If you don't know this channel, you probably should just subscribe. You know, it's from Povilas. I'm a big fan of Povilas, great YouTuber. Okay, props, shout out for Povilas. And today we are reacting to the 7 biggest Laravel news in 2024.
Guys, the year 2024 is coming to an end, and it's time for some recaps, reflections, and predictions for the future.
So this is like literally the biggest Laravel news, not the website, but the Laravel company news, basically in 2024.
Official Laravel YouTube channel, they have a playlist, What's New in Laravel, and in this video I will try...
Yeah, Teacher Povilas, the guy have like 150K subscribers, you know? Sometimes we are like, oh, I have 50K followers on Twitter, I'm the biggest. Check this guy, it's like 150K YouTube subscribers. Huge props, huge props to this dude, huge props.
To make a list of what...
currently what we're seeing on screen is literally the Laravel YouTube channel. You should probably just subscribe to it already as well. And this is like Christopher Rumpel, a great YouTuber as well.
Has been new in Laravel in 2024. The most important news, releases, and quite often you can feel whether news item or release was important only after a while, only after...
Nuno Daily? I don't think so. I like my channel more, the name of my channel more, Nuno Maduro. Simply my name. Skaboliskas, oh my god, your name, it's super difficult to say. Thank you so much for becoming a member of my YouTube channel. So normally you have access to my, early access videos. So once I finish this live stream, I'm going to create a video for tomorrow and you will have early access to it. Thanks for the support, dude.
A few months or even the full year, whether that feature was adopted or not, popular or not. So I've picked 7 things from 2024 which I think were important.
7 things, let's see.
Not only in Laravel but around Laravel ecosystem. And also in tomorrow's video, so this will be a 2-part series. In tomorrow's video, I will talk about what's coming in 2025. What am I expecting? So let's go. The main thing in the beginning of the year in March was
Laravel 11. I have worked so much on this one. Like, I remember speaking with Taylor because we I don't know if it will speak about that, but we had so many structural changes that I have worked with Taylor on this one for months. literally months.
Laravel 11 release. And the main thing that was talked about after the release for months was new skeleton.
Yeah,
so on Laravel
exactly
Daily, we had a tutorial at the time.
So this slim skeleton
new
stuff.
features and slim.
I challenge you guys. Just literally try to create a Laravel 10 application and just to remind yourself how Laravel used to be, and you will be thankful that we have slimmed the skeleton. I don't know if you guys remember, but the providers folder we are seeing right here have like a bunch of stuff like encryption service provider, whatever service provider, route service provider, exception handler, like a bunch of stuff. And now it's just basically 3 files: app service provider, the user model, and the abstract controller. Undeniably, I also wanted to remove the abstract controller, but it's just so much simpler now. Adalis is saying, I just migrated my knowledge from Laravel 5 to Laravel 11. That was a big change, dude. Drippin' Castle is saying it was a little bit sized and pro-social. Yeah, it was a little bit too big for sure. Yep. Internal Constellation is saying, as soon Laravel 12 in the core for Laravel, seeing this shitload of deprecations. Maybe. But yeah, I remember like working with Taylor on this stuff. Skeleton. And it just took us so much time to ensure it wouldn't break existing apps with the old skeleton, but it would be fresh and new for everyone new, you know what I mean? Such an amount of work. By the way, thank you so much for being here today, man. We have 120 viewers across Twitch and YouTube. Thank you so much for that. You guys are just unbelievably awesome, man. Remind me of rating someone at the end of the stream. If you have any suggestions of people we should rate, let me know.
Structure of
it would be cool to actually have, Primeagen online still, streaming. We could rate Primeagen. That would be fun.
Files. It took some time for people to get used to it, but overwhelming majority of developers accepted it as a better way when you get used to it. And by the way, I will link all those articles that I mentioned in the description below so you can read them in full. So number 1.
Yeah, this little note, these structural changes are optional. They will be by default only on new projects, like making sure that old applications will still work with Laravel 11. That was the big challenge for me. That was the big challenge. It's so much cleaner. Yeah, I do, man, absolutely agree with you. It's so much cleaner.
2024 is new slim skeleton from Laravel 11. Number 2 on my list of
By the way, I do agree with the first point. It's probably one of the biggest news of the year.
Of 2024 is, of course, the investment. By the way, I'm putting this list not in the order of importance, in pretty random order, but this is pretty important in my opinion.
Yes,
this kind of shook the whole ecosystem of Laravel developers to
Oh my God, it was such a good thing, especially for people that were working already at Laravel. Now we have so much talent within the company because we have this help of ASO. We have a new president, and basically, like, I feel like overall, we have so much more talent in Laravel, so we can move way faster, which is something I'm super excited about. You know what I mean?
Is it the way of thinking about Laravel as a framework?
Like, we have so many stuff literally being cooked at the moment: Laravel Cloud, Nightwatch, and all these different products. Where in the past we simply didn't have the manpower to do all of this stuff. So super exciting news.
Taylor talked about the reasons behind the investment and what is changing, basically not much. And now it's already materializing into something. So in 2025, we'll talk about Laravel Cloud and Nightwatch, and we'll talk about them as well in the second part of this video. But basically, Laravel is now backed by serious people with serious funding, while still trying to maintain the same vibe of our beloved framework. We'll see how they do down the road in like 2 to 5 years, but I think it will be okay and exciting. Another thing that was released during Laracon is PEST version 3 in September. Here's the video by Nuno himself, and I've shot a few videos about the features that I thought were important. So architectural presets and mutation testing.
Yeah, if you haven't checked, go check the PEST 3 release. I mean, I don't want to, speak about myself like this, but PEST today is very likely to be the most complete testing framework across all languages. we have mutation testing built in, parallel testing built in, architectural testing, snapshot testing, performance testing, profiling. Well, we have so many stuff at the moment that you should really just give it a try if you haven't already. Okay. Yes, sir.
Interestingly enough, it didn't catch as much attention as I was expecting, but I think with PEST 3 and with PEST being the default testing framework in Laravel now, in 2024 it grew even more with popularity. Another important thing about 2024, they released Inertia version 2.
Oh my god, yeah,
now.
Inertia 2 is
sure,
pretty cool. If
video...
Livewire is cool, Inertia 2 is also very cool. An amazing framework. I'm using it already with React on Laravel Cloud, and I'm going to be open about this. Some of the features we see today on Inertia 2, they came out of the need we had on cloud. So basically, I was building cloud together with Jason and, Jeremy, Joe, and, the rest of the team. And we definitely had some needs to build Laravel Cloud where Inertia 1 wasn't simply not ready for that. So I'm glad that we were able to dog food some of this Inertia 2 release.
Airs is already out of beta, but it's still a big thing. The combined effort by team with Jonathan and Joe and Pedro and Taylor. And interestingly, Taylor has been talking about Inertia as kind of like a finished product a year ago or so.
Yeah,
but
it was
then
definitely
he
not
changed
finished.
his mind after talking to Jonathan and other community members, so they decided to put extra effort in Inertia version 2 with the features that you can see on the screen.
Yeah, Eternal Constellation is asking if Inertia is under Laravel now. Well, basically, Inertia, some of the core contributors of Inertia now do work for Laravel, and part of that work is supported by Laravel.
The next thing I want to talk about is a few changes.
Pick and Flow is asking me if I can do a video on how to start testing with a lot of tutorials out. That would be simple and helpful. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe I can do a full live stream about that. Potentially. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Snooky Balls is saying, the fact that I can't just write the tests without finishing any, and I can mark them as a to-do. Yeah, we have so many stuff. We have to-dos. We have team management. There is so many features on PEST that I truly believe it's one of the most popular, most complete testing frameworks in the world.
Them into one thing, how to install Laravel. They introduced a few changes in Laravel and in the tooling to...
Yeah, we made a lot of improvements on, start easy with PHP in Laravel, but I think more in the pipe are coming.
Make it even easier, especially for newcomers coming outside of Laravel ecosystem. So for example, they released php.new with a new command to install everything you need on the fresh machine before working with Laravel. Then another new thing is a composer run dev command that was released in 11.28 version of Laravel, and you can see on the screen what it actually does. And with that, within the same release, Taylor made Tailwind as a core configured part within Laravel installation. I have a separate video about it, so installation of Tailwind in Laravel.
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you use Tailwind today? I don't know if there's any of you don't use Tailwind at the moment. Because Tailwind for me, I know very little about front end, as you may have seen on previous streams. I know about React and JavaScript, but styling is not my thing for sure, yet at the moment. But when I have to do it, just Tailwind just is so much better.
Has been changed. Beforehand, you needed to install Laravel Breeze or Jetstream or configure that manually. Now, Tailwind comes with Laravel New in Laravel 11 with all the Tailwind config.js and everything preset. Another thing that was released in 2024 is pretty recently in November, PHP 8.4,
of course,
which is still not widely adopted, but some people say it's the most important release in a few years with some functions.
If it's the most important release, I'm not really sure. I feel like PHP 8.0 and PHP 8.1, they were very good releases right before Nikita have left the PHP core team. But this one is definitely a big one. It's a good one, I would say. Definitely a good one, yes. Wait, what? I'm seeing people using Bootstrap. No, I want shit on Bootstrap. Bootstrap is still awesome, I probably can still do Bootstrap. If you put me a page in front of me, button primary and all that stuff. I can probably do some Bootstrap. I don't know if like this button primary and all of those deals, it's like just way outdated at the moment. But you know, Bootstrap was also. You guys remember Bootstrap 2? Do you guys remember Bootstrap 2? That was like the thing, man. It was such a breath of fresh air at the time. Oh yeah.
Like property hooks and stuff without parentheses. You can read about all the new features as usual on the blog of Brent. He's been covering PHP new versions since as long as...
Yeah, Brent is a great content creator. Check his website, check his YouTube channel. I love his content.
Remember. The final kind of important new release, I think, in 2024, at the end of the year, in November, they released PHP Stan.
We are very lucky to have PHP Stan on the PHP ecosystem, man. PHP Stan is such a blast of a project, and I haven't tested too much PHP Stan 2.0 because mainly the Laravel 3 release, I haven't been involved too much with it, to anything, to be honest. So, so I want to kind of check PHP Stan 2.0 once I have the time.
Version 2 with new level 10 that you can adopt. And again, I will link the original tweet by Andre here so you can read everything in full. And then as a follow-up, they released a Laravel version 3 that supports PHP Stan 2. So you can use PHP Stan underlying features in Laravel now with Laravel 3. Finally, not as new.
Maracode is saying, same as Nuno, for me as B developer is Tailwind the best, I agree, but I don't use it in the company. So what do you use? Like just regular vanilla CSS? Probably, right?
In 2024, but as an important part of what's Laravel in 2024, the State of Laravel survey by Tobias over the years has become a pretty good indicator what is happening in the ecosystem and in the community of Laravel. So if we're talking about trends of 2024 versus 2023 and other years, to be honest, not much has changed.
Yeah, not much have changed. PHP Storm is still the most used editor with more than 50% of the people using PHP Storm. We have VS Code with like 40% of the people using VS Code. And then like 2% Sublime Text, which is probably me, Taylor, and, a bunch of people. But 2%, oh my God. Yeah, declining of Sublime Text hardcore right here.
For example, PHP Storm versus VS Code, it's roughly on the same numbers. For example, databases are roughly at the same numbers.
This is a trend I have noticed, is that people are literally escaping a little bit from MySQL in SQLite. Oh, check this out, SQLite. Dude, I am part of this SQLite growth on the Laravel ecosystem, Adam Francis, for sure, he's also part of it. But I can tell you, I've said so many good things about SQLite in 2024, Pinkery, my package to improve the performance, and also like all the stuff I was saying. That SQLite just went up from 20% to 33%. 32%, which is kind of impressive. I remember, this is hilarious. I remember once, I think it was like 5 years ago, Matt Stauffer was asking on Twitter, what is the database driver you use for your applications? And my answer was SQLite. So this was like 5 years ago, Nobody have heard about SQLite at that point. And then I said, SQLite, but I don't actually build real applications because at the time I was doing a lot of open source work. And Matt Stauffer said, that's because you answer SQLite because you don't actually build real applications. And now we are seeing SQLite being used by a bunch of people and folks, using SQLite in production, which is, just kind of funny to see that, all things can change a little bit.
Probably see the MySQL drop a bit in favor of SQLite. You could probably qualify SQLite rise as news in 2024 as a trend. But the most significantly changed number in that State of Laravel survey is...
Peak and Flow is saying, yesterday's stream about Flux got me hyped to try it. Me too, man. I want to use Flux on my next project because I feel like what I've seen yesterday, it's truly impressive, for sure. Yep.
Is this for me. Well, drop a bit in favor of SQLite.
Yeah, something interesting here is that MariaDB is in the second place. I would expect Postgres to be like in the second place though, which is, you know, not far away though, 29% only. But MariaDB is in second place. MariaDB is a fork of MySQL, if I'm not mistaken, so it's kind of MySQL as well. So
you could probably qualify SQLite rise as news in 2024 as a trend. But the most significantly changed number in that State of Laravel survey is this for me. So Vue.js drop is pretty significant in my opinion.
yeah, this is something that everyone have noticed. Like, people are literally migrating to, I feel like people are migrating to Livewire and React. That's my overall feeling. Like, Vue.js was super popular back when Taylor was building applications with Vue.js, but most recently, it just, you know, I don't see the same amount of people vibing about Vue.js. It's definitely still something that people love, but, you know, I see a trend at least on Livewire and React.
And it is dropping every year.
The trend on Livewire is actually quite impressive. It goes like just like this, bam, easy.
Still going strong.
Same goes with Alpine.js. jQuery losing users every single day. jQuery was great at the time, but I mean now it's just, you know.
But not as strong as in previous years. And live.
Jonas is saying, why does Vue goes down, do you think? Well, I think Vue.js is going down mainly because of two things. The first one is I feel like the React ecosystem at the moment, it's just more powerful. Okay, so React Native, you know, we have React components everywhere, libraries and things like that. But also like some of the big names, and do not get mistaken on this. Do not get mistaken. What drives what is popular is people, but also it's like the influencers. You know, this is something that, you know, it's kind of complicated to wrap your head around it, but trust me, the influencers on the web development, they are a big role on what is trending in this kind of forums, on this kind of pools, basically. They may not shape exactly what gets used by companies, but they definitely play a role on things like Twitter, this kind of online pools and things like that.
Where is, I would say, skyrocketing. So my prediction is that we will see more content on Livewire in 2025, more people adopting it, partially with the help of Filament. So I see a trend that Laravel developed.
Yeah, I know Filament is getting popular and popular. People love Filament, you know, as an admin panel. And, you know, that also drives some attention or some attention to Livewire, basically, because to use Filament, you need to use Livewire. So absolutely.
Try Filament, and then they realize there's stall stack under the hood, and they need to understand the Livewire layer to customize it, and then they come into Livewire ecosystem. Apart from that, 2024 was roughly the same according to State of Laravel survey. But again, you can read that in full. I will link that in the description below.
Well, thank you so much, Povilas. That was a very cool, you know, very cool video. And thank you, Primeagen, for, you know, for the cool video as well. And I feel that's it for today. I saw a comment on the stream, I think it was from Pekin Castle, that we should probably react tomorrow to Teo's video, you know, about why we don't have a Laravel on the GS ecosystem. Personally, I had a lot of fun today, so I'm definitely doing more of this, like literally reacting to videos, because I have fun, you know, just interacting with the chat at the same time. You know, it's not as energy demanding as like literally live coding all the time, at least. And I have fun. So what did you guys thought? You guys had fun as well? That's also important. So before we close, we need to rate someone. Who are we rating today? For those who don't know what rate is, so if you're watching me on YouTube, you probably won't see it. But if you're watching me on Twitch, I can literally choose someone, you know, someone I can rate. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Okay, let's see who is online, by the way. I don't even know. Oh, Primeagen is online. Let's rate Primeagen, okay? Let's do that. All right. I'm going to click here, Stream Manager. And then blah, 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 blah. How do I do this? Okay, there we go. I will never manage to, you know how to do this. Unbelievably crazy difficult. All right, so I need to close the chat. How do I do this? Oh my God. Where do I do this on this application before everyone leaves? Okay, stream management. Okay, I'm on stream management. Now I need to close the stream, no? Oh my God, this is so difficult. Eventually you try slash rate. Yeah, but can I like slash rate? I don't think I can slash rate from this chat because I'm using Streamlabs, you know? So it's not like I can do it, you know? So... Oh, I finally got it. Got it. Okay, I will do it. All right, dudes, I'm going to raid the Primeagen. Let's share some PHP love there. It would be cool to actually have someone who is being rated through the Primeagen stream, having, you know, people saying PHP on chat. I will do the same, so I expect you to do the same as well. All right, so this raid just started. Typically, I just have to end the stream, and that's it. Dudes, thank you so much for being on that side. Again, my name is Nuno. You know, you can follow me on Twitch, on YouTube, and I will be here tomorrow with another stream. You guys were awesome today, super reactive on the chat. I just loved it, and thank you so much for being here today. I catch you all tomorrow. Peace out.